Hello, Jimmy here. It's between Christmas and New Year, it's between Yule and New Year, whether you celebrate on January the 1st or January the 11th, the Hen Galan, the Old New Year, and it's time for a bit of reflection, I think. I'm sat here in a lovely nature reserve, which I enjoy coming to. I'm sitting on a nice mossy branch in my kit. I'm in my mittens, my madder-dyed mittens, my Skjoldham hood, and it's chilly, it's just above freezing. So my turn shoes aren't feeling great right now, but they're packed with some nice thick gnarl-bound socks. I've got my big pink pants on, I've got my nice warm tunic from Heritage Crafts over in Georgia, and I'm feeling pretty comfortable. And I'm wearing it for two reasons. One, I'm wearing it for another video, and the second reason is I enjoy wearing my reenactment kit. And that's my first reflection, is I haven't worn my kit enough this year. I love wearing this stuff. I realised when I put it on, I really enjoy wearing my kit. People ask me about it. My mittens are adorable. It's nice to be able to just educate people as I'm walking down the street. And that's what this channel was meant to be all about. It was meant to be a surrogate for my reenactment hobby. When I first started the channel, that was what this was meant to be. It was meant to be me doing historical reenactment through the lens rather than in person back in 2020. And that feeds into my first reflection and my first goal for next year. My goal for 2024 was to do more events, do more reenacting, and I've done that. And I've done that mostly thanks to the support of my friends. People like Chris and Cam and Helen and Tony and Carrie have helped me to carve out some time to do the hobby that I really enjoy, and that has given me the opportunity to make this my job. I'm a YouTuber based around reenactment, and I don't do enough reenactments for that. So I've done 4 events this last year, which doesn't sound like many, but in 2023 I did 2. 2022 I did 1 event, so I've doubled my event attendance. 2025 I want to do more events. I'm sure you've probably all in the comments got goals and wishes for the new year that you want for your reenactment journeys. Pop them in the comments. Let's see what we're all trying to achieve next year. Maybe we've got some shared goals, but that's my first one. I want to attend more events in 2025. I'm not saying I need to double it. Like 8 events would be amazing, but if I can get 5 or 6 events under my belt next year, I'll be really, really chuffed. And it will hopefully give me the opportunity to share with some of you who can't attend events or who are in far-flung parts of the world some of the stuff that's going on in my reenactment world, which I know you want to see more of, so I'd love to be able to do that. It means I can wear my kit more, I can road test my kit more, my kit can get a bit more lived in, a bit more worn in, and it'll look like clothing rather than, costume, as it were. So that's my first goal, is attend more events next year. I think my second goal is to improve my kit. Like these mittens, I love these mittens, they're great, but I made them in a rush. I put one of the thumbs on inside out. Some of the stitching is pretty shonky. I did it a few years ago, so it's not great. Maybe I'll re-dye them, probably won't. Maybe I'll look at doing another pair, maybe with the pile weave on the inside, like in the originals. Might have a look into doing that. I want to improve my kit, and I want to improve its accuracy. And I've started to use the word accuracy more than authenticity when I talk about my reenactment kit, because I feel like authenticity is impossible. We cannot be authentic in our kit. We're not authentic. We're pretending. We're playing. But we can be accurate. We can be accurate in our reproduction of the artifacts that we're making. We can be accurate in our stitch sizing. We can be accurate in our choice of cloth as far as possible. But I think authenticity is a very loaded term, so I'm going to try and improve my historical accuracy, my 8J as they call it in the SCA. So, my goal for next year, for 2025, make my kit more accurate, and that will be either through repairing kit, finishing kit. This Skjoldham hood doesn't have the ties on it. It's meant to have a tie on either side of the hood so that you can close it up, tighten it up, and tighten it around the back of your head. Either way, I want to tighten my kit up, get it looking really accurate, get it looking nicely made, except the stuff that's meant to be shoddy. Authentically shoddy kit is a thing. So that's what I want to do. Repair my shoes, use the right techniques, use the right conditioning for leather and that kind of thing. So try and avoid like modern waxes and treatments for leather, and just try and get my kit looking better by making it in a better, more accurate way, more period accurate way. That's my goal. My second goal for 2025 is improve the accuracy of my kit. My third goal is quite me specific, and it's specific to the reenactment that I do, the public-facing educational reenactment that I really enjoy, is I want to build a trade or an impression, because I've never really had one. A lot of my reenactment friends will tell you, usually when I turn up to an event, I will just kind of multitask. I'll multi-role. If you need me to tend the fire, I'll do that. If you need me to prep for some cooking, I'll do that. If you need me to do a weapons display, I can do that. I can make fishing nets. I can chop wood. I can make pens from feathers. I can grind oak galls and make ink. I can do all that stuff. But I'd like to find my niche. I'd like to find my thing that I talk about, my thing that I present to the public, and I'm not sure what that's going to be. Maybe some of you guys have got some ideas for what I could do on the Living History display. Some of you know me better than I know myself, so if anyone's got any thoughts for that, let me know in the comments, of course. Or if I see you and we're hanging out, you can just let me know. But I'd love to come up with an idea for an impression. I've seen some amazing people do some amazing things at reenactments. I've seen people hand dyeing, I've seen people weaving, I've seen people woodworking, stonemasonry, all this incredible stuff that people do, and they fulfill that, they have that niche. And as valuable as it is to be able to turn your hand to anything, I have that feeling, that feeling of lacking something, that feeling of lacking a special thing, a special trade, a special thing that I talk about, a subject that I make my own on the camp, on the display. So I'd like that to be my third goal for 2025, is come up with a specialist impression for myself. That would be lovely. So we've got attend more events, we've got improve my kit, we've got come up with a specialism. My fourth goal for 2025 is to travel for reenactment more. I have friends who go over to Newville in the US to do Great War reenactment. I have friends who go over to Volin. I have friends who have invited me to Norway and Sweden and Australia and the US to do historical reenactment and reenactment related stuff. And I'm going to do some of that in 2025. My dance card is already filling up, but I want to carve some time out to travel a little bit more with this hobby. The impressions that I have, like generic European medieval man, are impressions that I could take almost anywhere in Europe and fit in with a reenactment. So I would love to go to some more reenactments abroad, outside of the British Isles. I would love to go travelling more for this hobby. And I think that would make some amazing videos. That would be so cool, because there are some events out there that don't get much attention on YouTube, and they're incredible events that deserve to be seen and enjoyed by as many people as possible. So if I can do that, I can do a bit of travelling, I can take my camera with me, and I can have a fun road trip somewhere and do this incredible hobby. That is my next goal, is to travel more for my reenactment. I've been lucky that I've done historical reenactment in castles in Wales, I've done it in nature reserves and lakes in England, I've done it in beautiful parks and woodlands in Scotland. I haven't done any historical reenactment in Ireland. On the island of Ireland, I haven't done anything. I haven't done any on the Isle of Man, an incredibly archaeologically rich area and part of the Norse world. I haven't done any historical reenactment in France, and it's so close. And I've been to France, I've been to Italy, and I want to go to Scandinavia, you know? My channel's called the Welsh Viking, and I've never been to Scandinavia. So that would be a goal of mine, I think. Within that goal, maybe go to Scandinavia and do some events there. That'd be super, super cool. Can you imagine? I'd love to see a fjord. I've never seen a fjord. I'd love to see a fjord. If you've got a fjord, I'd love to see it. I'm slowly sinking into this bog. It's wonderful. It's not a bog of eternal stench, so I'm not too bad, but yeah. Oh, it's beading beautifully on my leather. I'm so glad. Oh, Peiko treated my turn shoes. Treat your turn shoes in the off-season. Remember this. The stone gnomes are watching you. Yeah, so those are... What have we got? We've got... Is that 5 now? Travel, more events, improve my accuracy, come up with specialism. I think that's 4, isn't it? That's pretty good. 4 seems like a pretty good number of goals to have, right? For a year. Reflecting on this year, I've made some more kit. I've improved my sewing skills. I've made loads of new friends in reenactment, which is wonderful. I've started my 17th century impression. I need to finish a couple of garments. I need to finish a doublet for that. I'd like to finish knitting my stockings, my hose, before my first event, which is in like a month. I would love to make a coat and get a nice hat for my 17th century kit, which you guys have no interest in because I made videos on it and nobody watched it. But I would love to do that. I'd like to maybe build a kind of generic medieval impression, something that's suitable for sort of 7th or 8th century right the way through to like 14th century, because you can do that with a nice long tunic with a simple neckline. That's doable. So that would be nice. As a kind of B-tier goal, make a generic medieval impression. And I'm thinking something in the red and yellow spectrum, because it's the most common colours that we have. So make a nice generic red and yellow medieval impression that I can use very, very, very broadly, because that would be great if I'm travelling. If I'm travelling somewhere and I'm going from like a 10th century to a 14th century event in 2 different countries, this is setting my sights now. This is like setting my sights high. Go from 2 different countries and do 2 different eras of medieval event. That's like up here. But if I end up doing it, I'll need kit that I can use for both, because I want to pack light, because I'm probably going to be using public transport if I'm travelling a lot. Yeah. For now, I think that's it. I think the other main thing I'd like to do more of next year is enjoy my reenactment. I found myself feeling a little more pressure to be a reenactor this year. And I think I need to just step my brain back and allow myself to enjoy the hobby whilst I'm practicing it. And that can be tough. When the hobby becomes the job, it can be tough. And I like to switch my brain off when I'm reenacting. Like I'm doing right now, I like to just kind of sit and be somewhere and just look at all of the lovely people wearing wool around me. I don't necessarily want to be like answering questions about the YouTube channel or listening to people's suggestions about videos, which are always welcome, but when you're practicing your hobby, sometimes you just want to like chill, you know? Sometimes you just want to chill. So just, I suppose if I wanted to put a sort of hippie-ish 21st century spin on it, I'd say practicing mindful reenactment might be my final goal for 2025, is be more mindful in my reenactment. Enjoy the reenactment more. Yeah, maybe you have goals of your own. Maybe you want to improve your accuracy. Maybe you want to make your first garment. Maybe you want to make your first tunic. Maybe you've been making your kit out of less accurate, more affordable materials. Maybe you want to switch from a cotton tunic to a wool tunic. Maybe you finally found a nice tropical weight wool that you could make something out of, and you want to show people in your group that you can make wool in your climate, make things out of wool in your climate without sweating yourself to death. I've worn wool in 45 degrees and I was okay. For example, maybe you want to travel more, like me. Maybe you want to come to a reenactment in the UK, and if that's one of your goals, and we end up at an event, do say hi. Maybe you want to break into a different era of reenactment. Let us know in the comments. It would be really, really nice to know what you guys want to do this year, to let people know, and maybe hook yourself up with some fun contacts. I thought I saw a deer. You get deer here sometimes, they're a deer, but it's a bit early for the deer. Yeah, let us know in the comments if you've got any lovely reenactment goals for this year. I hope you've all had a wonderful time. I hope you've had a safe, peaceful time over the holidays if you celebrate them. I hope you've been safe. I hope you've been happy. I hope you found some time to rest as much as possible. And yeah, I hope that the new year brings you health, wealth, happiness, all that good stuff. I hope that you release yourself from the jackboot of oppression, if you are suffering under it, as we all are to some extent. And I hope I see some of you guys at reenactment events in the new year. I really do. I hope that we do meet up at some events, because I've missed some of you at events, and that's a bummer. But I hope that I meet some of you guys at reenactments. Remember, York Viking Festival is happening in February. I will be there. I will look like this. This is my face, the one that I use all the time. This is my day-to-day face. If you're there and you see me, come say hi. I'll probably have like Embarrassingly, I'll probably have some stickers because people told me to make stickers, so I might have stickers. So come see me at York Viking Festival, say hi, have a lovely new year, and remember that this hobby is meant to be fun, so enjoy it. Don't let anybody pressure you into doing aspects of the hobby that you're not interested in. Do the hobby for you, not for anybody else. Diolch yn fawr am wylio. Thank you so much to everybody who's joined the channel in 2024. It's been a wild ride. We're nearly at 100,000 subs, which is incredible. The light is now fading a little, so I'm going to head off. But diolch yn fawr iawn I bob un ohonoch chi. Thank you so much to every single one of you. Diolch am ymuno, diolch am wylio, diolch am gefnogi. Thank you for watching, thank you for joining, thank you for supporting the channel. Until the next time, tan y tro nesa, as ever, hwyl am y tro. Bye for now.